So last night we put the progressive suspension shocks on the back of it. I really like the ride height, the way it looks. Bike looks level, not squatted in the rear. Quite a gap in the rear fender. Not overly crazy about that, but I want to get the center license plate as opposed to the side plate. We're gonna tackle the fork springs. It must have been sweeping in here, dust everywhere. Anyway, I rode it to work. There's videos of that. Not overly crazy about the additional compression damping that these have over the stock ones, without scratching any of that up or marring the bars. You just need to kind of get back enough to. Let's see what we got here. See how much movement I have. Just need to get back far enough to be able to access the fork caps. Well, there's like no room there. Alright, there we are. There, she comfortably settled into the rag. I think those were 36 millimeter. What the hell was that? 1.8 inches. That's my toolbox, and pretty much everything in there is mine. If you've seen in other videos when I've been in there, 3/8 I think is what it is. Jeez, what the hell do I got going on here? Oh, freaking great big sucker. I think this was it. Yeah, but all the tools are all beat up, most of them, The kid is goddamn rough on tools. I don't want him in my tools. My personal stuff. So I got little bags that I keep in my own area that he doesn't have access to. They're just cheap tools. I mean, just Craftsman's and Tuskies and things of that nature, but he doesn't get a hold of them. And magically, nothing comes up missing. Any kids at home that work with your tools? Things come up missing. Funny how that happens. And then they swear up and down they never had that. Oh, I didn't use it. Dad, you were the last one to use that. No, son, you were the last one. I wonder if I need to loosen those pinch bolts. We'll see how tight these are. On Japanese motorcycles, a lot of times in pinch bolts are tight, or it will squeeze the. He's come right loose. Then you have the fun joy of the preload of the spring being underneath this thing. Stock ones, if they're anything like my iron, didn't have a whole lot of preload on them. But nevertheless, you want to be prepared. Be prepared for the surprise. She's feeling kind of loose, so I gotta be close. Yeah, buddy. Hell yeah, she was ready and raring to go. I just put a little rag on there. Craftsman sockets are not of the best quality. If it was snap-on, I wouldn't think twice about it, but they're definitely not snap-on. The inside of Craftsman sockets are really crude. So I need a couple rags here to I'll keep using that as my deal to this bolt shock absorbers or whatever for the bolts or shims, or, and I think this thing is low enough that I'll need to well, maybe not. I was thinking the spacer was so long, 'cause it was quite long in my 1200. Maybe it was the same as this. I got there's the stock shocks and springs out of the 1200L. But maybe we'll be able to just reach, or not. I really don't want to go through all the hassle of lowering the motorcycle. What kind of scrabbers do we have here? How about this? We're just going to drag them boys right out of there. How about a 90 degree? Now this is where it gets messy. And I'd rather not get any of this oil on my... keep thinking I got it and I don't. Oh. We have a washer here first. Let's just slip this out of the way here. But I'd rather not get fork oil all over the black denim on this thing. As you can see, I'm really smart and I have my front fender covered. Not at all. But the fork oil will collect on these springs, and if you just go willy ass nilly and pull these things out of here, you're gonna get a bath. You know, one of the things I should probably check that they advise, that's just regular ATF in that thing. It only has, what do I got on this thing, 800 miles now? 8 something. But they want you to check to make sure the oil capacity is not over 5.5 inches. Do I have to adjust that on my... Because one of the things the fork springs overall are more tightly wound. They even look like they're a little thicker, so they're gonna use up some capacity in the forks. So what you have to do is collapse this thing all the way down and make sure that you have 5.5 inches of airspace above that. And my straps keep the wheel from going around here. When I collapse that, it's gonna weird them things out. And I don't have handlebars to hold on to. And I've got a shock tool here. Motion Pro. I think the last time I used it was on my Harley. And it only shows it in millimeters. What was the millimeters? I got it set at 140. Oh, don't have handlebars. Don't grab them. Being for a hell of a surprise. Yeah, I think I definitely need a regular jack. I'm just gonna get one of those bike. Whoa. That's bottomed. That can't be bottomed. There's no way that's bottomed. They gotta have some stiction going on here somewhere. Yeah, it's not bottomed. Oh, I know why, because I have it in gear. Whoa, that is definitely bottomed. Shaker here, make sure let me get my jack up enough that she ain't gonna topple over on me. Make sure she's still bottomed. Yeah, she'll fall right over on me. Hell yeah, it will. want to make sure I don't lift the forks any, which I think is exactly what it's trying to do. Am I sitting on something weird down there? Because I mean, that thing would just take right over and fall over. Yeah, and I'm lifting the bike. Yeah, this is going to be a little sketchy. I'm going to have to hold the bike and suck this thing out at the same time. Well, what we'll do, just to make sure, we're just going to see if the oil actually touches the tube. Oh, you could actually have it so I can go down there. Yeah. If I let go of this thing and drop it, yeah, the knob on the tool is hitting. There's not enough room. If I went the other way, there you are. But I'm not really, because if I go forward, the oil level is. Well, I guess if I'm close. And I do have oil in it. So, we're going to drag. Make sure I'm flush here. I really am about to drop this motorcycle. So let's pull some of this out. Let's get her at 5.5 inches. Shit, it was the dog making a noise. I thought it was the bike making a noise. Come on, gal, grab some air here. There we are. Alright, we'll call that. We'll call that 140 millimeters. What do I do with my? Oh, yeah, it's over there. So let's just set this aside here right quick. Get some pressure on this jack again. Yeah, what it's doing is because the forks would come up. It was actually wanting to, because the other one's still together. It was wanting to lighten the front end and actually allow it to roll over. I think I probably had both fork tubes out last time. Don't I have a 1-inch freaking socket somewhere? So I don't have to use a monkey wrench on this thing. Alright, so she's just shy up. There we are, wheels off the ground. Got some extra fork oil if I need it. Now, I think I'm gonna, and that's the way the stock springs came out. This is something I haven't checked, but on my last set of progressive springs, they're the same. One was a different length than the other. How cool is that? So there's kind of a couple of different ways of thinking about this. If you put the tightly wound side of the forks down at the bottom, you're adding unsprung weight to the front end. But if you put these at the top, they tend to make noise. But you know what? I'm going to throw caution to the wind. There is a huge difference in weight. I'm just going to let the forks make some noise. Make sure you watch. washer lays in there flat, which it is. That's actually less than the stock ones were. Well, shall we get brave and try this? What I'm thinking I might do is reduce my wrench size here. That's probably why I had that adapter on it. Let's go to a smaller wrench, put an extension on it. That could be too long. And what am I gonna do with that other? This is a Husky kit I bought my kid. It was a Christmas present. Great big old kit. Does he use a tool or what? He's knocked all the black right off of that thing. I gotta give kudos to Husky though. If they survive him, they can survive anything. Now you can see where, of course he's going to do this because I've had tension on it anyway, but you can see where the partially Craftsman, partially the fact that, you know, had a lot of torque on it. But we want to try to hit some different spots. I don't want the rough inside of that Craftsman socket to chip the chrome on my bolt. I actually don't think this is going to be bad because it doesn't seem to have a whole lot of tension. Of course, you know that because I just said that, what's going to happen here. Alright, so get her down, get her flat. What's going here? Holy moly. Yep. That's what you get for opening your goddamn mouth. Oh yeah. It'll go right on. One thing I gotta watch is that rag doesn't end up in there. I don't have a lot of tension on it, so we'll just do it until she snugs up here. Oh, and another thing. I get more things. You know, kids with their dirt bikes that come in and they've got that fork cap torqued down on that thing like freaking crazy. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? That fork cap is not gonna fall off of there. So a little snug. There's one successful fork spring. So I guess if my sag isn't where I want it to be, I guess I just cry because I got to do all this all over again, which is just the way it goes. I should have started off with a new piece, but we came out good. No marks or mars on it.